Family, we in the book of Jude today. Studied the whole book of Jude. Short book, but it hits harder than a lot of books. Jude ain't sugarcoating nothing. He's talking to the church like, listen, y'all already know the truth, but some of y'all acting like y'all forgot. Jude is basically saying God saves, God rescues, God loves, but God also judges. Don't let the world fool you into thinking God is soft. God delivered them, but they didn't believe. Jude starts off with Egypt, not the pyramids and the gold, but the deliverance God brought his people out of. But even after seeing miracles, some still didn't believe. And Jude is like, don't get it twisted, bro. Being around God's blessings don't mean you're walking in God's belief. Some of us grew up in church. Some of us can quote verses, but our faith be shaky. The moments when life gets rough, God is saying, if I pulled you out of what was killing you, don't act like I didn't do nothing for you. Angels got demoted, bro. Jude snaps even harder. He said, some angels left their rightful place, stepped out of position, and God chained them up in darkness until judgment. Let that sink in. Think about that. If angels can get judged for abandoning their assignments, what makes us think that we could just go wild and ignore God's calling? Some of us stepped out of our positions too. You were supposed to be praying, right? But you scrolling on the internet looking at crazy stuff, right? You were supposed to be worshiping, but you chasing action, right? You were supposed to be in church right now, right? But you watching the game, bro. You were supposed to be leading, but you following the crowd. Jude is flashing a warning light. Stay where God placed you. Now let's talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. Jude reminds us that Sodom and Gomorrah gave themselves over to straight up lawlessness. They lived like God wasn't watching. And watch how Jude says it. They served an example, a big billboard that says, don't go this way, right? But some of us treat warning signs like suggestions. God ain't trying to ruin your fun. He's trying to keep you from burning down your whole life. They polluted their own bodies. Jude said these false teachers and fake believers polluted themselves. No devil needed, bro. No demon needed, bro. They did it themselves. Some people are their own destruction, right? They reject authorities. They trash things that they don't even understand. They speak recklessly. They move on dreams instead of the truth. They don't even follow stop signs. They don't put their seatbelts on while they driving. Sound familiar, right? We live in a generation that follows vibes, not scriptures, right? Feelings, not faith. Manifesting, not praying. Jude is saying, stop playing with fantasies. Get anchored in the truth. Now, this part is wild. Jude says even Michael, an archangel, didn't argue with the devils in his own strength. He didn't flex, he didn't clap back, and he didn't start talking reckless either. He just said, the Lord rebuked you. That's power, bro. That's humility, bro. And that's understanding your source. Some of us is losing battles because we try to fight in our own strength. You arguing with demons instead of calling on Jesus. You debating sin instead of deleting access. You trying to overpower temptation instead of running to God for help. I mean, how could you argue with somebody and they're telling you what God says, right? But you saying, you can't help who you love. Come on now. Michael shows us the blueprint. Let the Lord do the rebuking. Now, Jude calls out 3 names and each one is deep. Cain, anger that turns into destruction. Some people want to hurt you because they hate your favor. You saw how Cain did it, right? Balaam, chasing money over God. Some folks will sell their soul for the bag. And Korah, rebellion against God's chosen order. Some people love chaos because accountability scares them. Jude is basically saying, these same spirits still show up today. Watch for them. Jude switches to imagery that hits hard. Clouds without rain. People who talk big but produce nothing. Trees without fruit. They look spiritual, but they have no substance. Wild waves, always loud but never stable. Wandering starts. Flashy but lost. Jude is saying some folks in the church look like leaders, look anointed, look spiritual, but they ain't rooted, ain't steady, ain't producing nothing but chaos. Family, don't let empty people drain you. Don't let fruitless people lead you. Don't let rebellious spirits influence you. Don't let wandering stars guide your path. Now here's the real message of Jude. Check your position. Jude is calling out to the fakes, but he's also calling out to the believers to stay grounded, right? This whole passage is screaming, don't drift from God. This world got 1,000 distractions. False teachers telling you that sin ain't sin. Influencers telling you to follow your truth. Music telling you rebellion is freedom. Culture telling you God is optional. But Jude says, stay rooted, stay humble, stay obedient, and stay under God's authority. Because the same God who delivered Israel, the same God who disciplines angels, right? The same God who judged Sodom is the same God who protects and keeps his faithful people today, which is us. So if you hear Jude and think, man, God is strict, you missing the point. Jude isn't trying to scare you. No, he's trying to wake you up. He's saying, don't let the fake people drag you into real destruction. Don't lose what God gave you because you got distracted. Don't leave your post when God placed you there with purpose. Guard your faith. Live real. Walk holy. And don't let the wandering star pull you off your path. Peace.